to yet.
Have you ever done ayahuasca?
That'd be awesome.
I haven't done that, but I've done DMT, obviously, which is the main thing in ayahuasca, which is what your body produces when you're dying.
Didn't I do DMT with you, or was it someone else?
You
Was it someone else?
did.
Oh, it was you, right?
You did 5-methoxy DMT.
You know what? And it was a very spiritual experience. It made me believe that I believe in a higher power. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's that bearded dude. I don't know if it's the Allah dude. I don't know if it's the Jewish dude. I don't know if it's the African dude or the Inca dude. But there's some kind of shit. There's something, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, something created. There is a creator of some sort. It could be a fucking computer simulation. People believe that. Everyone believes in computer simulations. Oh, that could be true. Neil deGrasse fucking Tyson says it. So that could be true, that we're in a computer simulation. But when you start talking about like a creator, a higher power, whatever God, but a computer simulation.
What is that noise?
No, I'm following that.
But people at home don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're pointing, going,
I'm just saying.
That fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson.
He
Hey,
doesn't like Neil
like
deGrasse
him.
Tyson because he represents absolute facts that can't be argued with, and that shit's dangerous for a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
If Neil walked in right now, I would love it.
Oh my God! You know what I would do?
Right
I
to
would
Tower
choke him. You know,
7.
if Neil deGrasse Tyson walked in right now,
What would you do?
He
Choke
would
him out.
mind fuck you.
I don't even want to.
He would choke your mind, Eddie. He would choke your mind. He put your mind in an electric
We would start
chair.
talking about the moon, and then I would listen to him talk about how we actually went to the moon, and I would enjoy that.
Hey, so what was your point?
I don't remember.
No, it was about if you die in
for
your
a next
brain.
chapter. Yeah,
Here's
you're
the
just
point.
another portal.
Is that
Way
we
to
don't
bring it
know.
back.
Look, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Nobody's scared to sleep, but everybody's scared to die.
Mm-hmm.
No, everybody wants to go to sleep. Everybody does. We look forward to it. We look forward to shutting off because we know that we're going to come back. But everybody's terrified of death. And we don't understand sleep. We don't know why we need it. We don't know what the fuck happens. We don't know what dreams are. We don't understand what kind of psychedelic chemicals are being produced by our own brains while we're out cold. We don't know what the experience is like. We know we come back with crazy memories, and some people are capable of manipulating those memories or manipulating that experience, and they have lucid dreaming. I have to just, I've had brief moments of lucid dreaming, and I've never put any effort whatsoever into trying to get good at it. But I know that some people do, and they concentrate on it all the time.
I've done it.
Yeah, I'm
I used
sure.
to sleep
I'm
with
sure you have.
I used to
But my
sleep with
point is-
DVDs.
Yeah, there's a lot. But my point is, we don't know what it is. We don't know what death is. We don't know. We're so convinced that this state of being awake is the only state that exists. But we already know of another state that we have no evidence. When we are alive, when you're walking through life, you're watching the UFC, you're driving your car, you have no fucking idea what was going on for 8 hours of your day. You don't. You wake up, oh, my alarm clock went up. Time to get up. Mm-hmm. You have evidence based on a few fucking slideshows of ridiculousness that took place in your imagination, air quotes, in the last 8 fucking hours. We're not talking about 5 minutes of your day. We're talking about 8 fucking hours of your day where you have to shut your head off, where you literally have no idea what's going on around you. You have no idea. You have faith that you're going to wake up because you've woken up every other day for your whole life. That alone is fucking bizarre. That you would have any confidence whatsoever as what happens when you die, and that you could tell me that you know for sure. You don't know what the fuck happens when you go to sleep, bitch. You don't have a goddamn clue as to what the fuck happens when your eyes are closed and you're...
Yeah, to die, something has to
What's
fail.
going on in your brain? Yeah. We don't know. We don't know. We're all basing on our rudimentary understanding of normal awake consciousness, which for a guy like me that's not a brain scientist, or you or anybody in this room, we don't fucking know. We barely understand consciousness. On the highest levels of science, they barely understand what consciousness is. There's arguments as to what causes it. There's arguments as to what defines it. Does a plant conscious? Plants can detect when animals are chewing next to them. Plants, they excrete certain chemicals to make themselves taste like shit when they hear caterpillar sounds from a tape recorder. Is that conscious? No? Okay. What about a dog? My dog knows when I'm pulling to the driveway. He starts barking. He gets excited to see me. Is he conscious?
What
no.
about a Venus flytrap?
Exactly. Or how about those ones in the Amazon that eat rats? They get this crazy thing
that
that looks
is
like
weird.
a trumpet. A rat falls into it and it dissolves the rat.
Yeah.
It's like, bitch, you're never getting out.
Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah.
Dude, there's fucking all kinds of crazy shit
What's
that you
up
could
with
say.
that? Part plant, part animal.
Right.
Venus flytrap.
Right.
Remember on TV when I was a kid, you could order that shit. That was a
you still can.
infomercial.
You can still get those and
You still buy them.
I
You
looked
still
into
buy
it.
them
That's the
anywhere.
only. What the
Dude, you
fuck?
can buy them.
They
Venus
can get 'em.
flytraps
Imagine
are
you send
amazing.
someone on Valentine's Day 24 Venus flytraps.
Marry her,
Dude,
son.
I think I had one
You
when I was
send
a
your,
kid.
your ex-wife that shit, right?
No, that'd be a
No,
cool
they're
gift.
dope, dude.
Yeah,
they're dope.
sick.
They eat flies in your house.
Yeah.
Leave the window open. Come on in, bitch.
Yeah.
You know, put a little fucking
What's the
dog
biggest?
shit.
What is the biggest
inside.
Venus flytrap
No,
ever recorded? Can you imagine one like?
Little Shop of Horrors. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
8 people.
Great
was that,
movie.
Was that based on?
How come they can
realism?
eat rat, but they can't eat people? Of course, it could be something. Like if you went back to the dinosaur days, I guarantee there was all sorts of plants that were eating shit that slipped up.
For sure.
Eating like ancient
'em
raccoons or
slipping.
whatever the fuck there was around 65 million years ago.
Sloths.
But what if there was no
Sloths.
dinosaurs?
Okay,
Do you think that's
sir.
that's the same guy that thinks that the Earth is flat? You put out a video about dinosaurs being fake. Problem with that, of course, is we have bones.
There's
a
fossils,
shitload
you
of them,
fucks.
and
None of them, all
it's
the,
like
in the museums, there's no bones.
a lot of them are bones.
And they found,
a lot of them, but that's not true. See, here's the thing: when you're looking at a fossil, what you're looking at is not necessarily really a bone. What it is where minerals have taken place of where the bone used to be. What a fossilized, like, have you ever seen a megalodon tooth, like a shark tooth?
On Discovery Channel.
Bud Brutzman had one on his
Oh, no,
office.
no, I did
Remember
see
we
it
had
with
that
Bud. Yeah, Bud,
conversation?
yes, yes.
We had a
Bud had
conversation
one.
about it.
Yes.
And Bud was telling me there's a
Found it in
megalodon
Montana.
tooth. And I said, sort of. It is kind of a megalodon tooth, but it really is a fossil of a megalodon tooth. What that means is over millions and millions and millions of years, the actual tooth itself is changed by the ground and it becomes mineralized and it becomes like a rock. So it's the shape of a megalodon tooth, but it's not exactly the same as was in the megalodon's mouth
But it's
69 million
close.
years ago.
I mean, it has to be close.
It's the actual shape,
So,
the shape
yeah.
of it, but it's not
Outline.
a tooth.
Right.
Do you
If you
remember?
do a DNA test on it, it's a fossil. It's weird
It's an outline.
stuff.
Didn't they tell you
Yeah.
when you were a kid that oil came from dinosaurs? Do you remember that shit?
Yeah, that's what they used to do.
Remember
Yeah.
that?
Fossil fuel.
We told
Yeah.
yes, fossil
Yeah.
fuel.
Yeah.
Hey man, there's a guy who worked on the JFK administration. He was the chief of special operations for the Joint Chiefs of Staff under the JFK administration. His name is L. Fletcher Prouty. L. Fletcher Prouty. Look that dude up. What he says about oil, holy shit, what that dude says about oil. He said, this is what he's saying. I don't know if it's true. I'm not a geologist. I'm not an oil. He says that peak oil, like the scare that we're going to run out of oil, is perpetrated. That's him. Is perpetrated by the oil industry. He says oil is the second most abundant liquid in the world.
Yeah.
Oil is everywhere. We'll never run out of it. But if the people knew that, then they wouldn't pay the prices.
Right.
They have to keep the prices high. They have to give it. This is what this dude's saying.
He might be
L-
right, but
Yeah,
there was a
could
really
be.
interesting book that I read that I'm thinking about this today because today I was giving some books away actually to Goodwill. We're putting them in boxes of books that I read that I'm not going to read again. And one of them was Black Gold Stranglehold. And there's a really controversial book that I read. I don't remember who wrote it, Jamie. See if you can pull that up. But it was by a guy who was saying that oil is actually a natural process, and it's a natural process of the earth, and that the idea that it was created by fossils, and then later the theory was that plants like rotting would create this oil. He said it's a natural process of the earth itself,
Yeah.
and it's constantly
Makes more
renewing.
sense.
Yes.
It does kind of make sense,
Yeah,
right?
it does.
That's what L.
but-
Fletcher Prouty said. He also said this too. He said the reason we think it's fossil fuel is because
There it is.
John D. Rockefeller in 1892 sent a group of paid-off scientists to this big scientific committee on organic matter in Geneva in 1892. He sent these scientists just so that they can put in that petroleum is organic, that it contains hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. So he knew that if they passed that if he can say that petroleum is organic matter, then people will believe that it's going to run out. But it was all a complete hoax. That's what L. Fletcher
Dude,
Prouty.
you can get that book
Well,
for
here's-
$2.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
Cheap
used
as
though,
shit.
dude. That's used.
Good deal,
So
though.
apparently,
People sell
there's
used
all
books.
these oil, trillions of gallons of oils are bursting up all over the world, but you won't see it in American media because they want everyone to think that it's not abundant. It's so cheap. We have so much oil in Alaska and all over the United States that it's cheaper just to get it from the Middle East. It's so much cheaper. Just like it's cheaper to make products in China than to make it here. We can make it here, but it's way cheaper to just fucking make it in China.
Hold on a second. Do you know that most of the oil that we get is actually from fracking now? And that the Middle East is not where we get most of our oil anymore.
Things are changing. No, that's part of this whole thing.
With
things
fracking.
Are changing right now.
Yeah, it's a big issue with fracking. I mean,
but according to this dude, if you look at him,
see, that's the problem. If it's one guy,
it's 5 minutes he talks about it.
There's no way we're watching that.
Okay.
I'll fucking my head will explode.
He might be right. Finding out.
No, he might be right.
There's
but
an
have
oil
to Google
hoax
it.
going on.
No,
that's
it's possible.
You don't want to hear that.
It's possible, but if that was the case, wouldn't you think? Here's the thing. It's entirely possible that the myth of the Earth creating oil through dead things and it being a limited resource is possible. And the reason why we know it's possible is because whenever there's money to be made by manipulating the facts, there's a bunch of people that are willing to do that. And what we know about the most recent history is that the sugar industry paid scientists untold amounts of money to lie and say that saturated fats were the cause of heart disease, and that take the blame off of sugar.
Yes,
and this is a really recent study, or a really recent revelation. And we're talking within the last couple of weeks.
The documentary is called Sugar Coated.
Yeah.
Write that shit down. Sugar Coated on Netflix. You'll see
they paid
scientists from Harvard, Yale. So when you find this out, same thing that tobacco did. The same thing when you hear about tobacco science is paid off science. Harvard, Yale, because they know people believe, because most people walk around and they go, oh man, I'm into science, bro. I'm into science. They know that. They're like, okay, you're into science? We're going to pay off the scientists.
They know that.
We're going to pay off the scientists so we can fool these gullible motherfuckers. That's what's going on. Everyone's getting fooled.
Gullible bitches.
Hold on a second. Let's see what it says here.
Everyone's getting fooled left and
Jamie,
right.
Scroll. I can't see. There's a camera in the way here. Can you scroll up, please? It says oil prices were about 60% lower than they were 2 years ago, yet BP reports U.S. oil reserves are now at an all-time high, up to 55 billion barrels, nearly double what we had just 20 years ago. This surge demonstrates how even our best experts are limited in their ability to appreciate just how much oil we have and can produce. So it's entirely possible that they were hoodwinked early on, but it's also entirely possible that they pretended they knew how the fuck oil was created in a way that it would benefit them. Like they'd say, oh, we have a limited supply, so therefore we got to Remember in the 1970s, man, when they fucked up our cars? We had the dopest fucking muscle cars in the world.
Like the
American muscle cars in the
Mustangs,
1960s were the shit. But then when Jimmy Carter got in office, they sensed weakness. Those motherfuckers jacked the oil rates up through the roof. And because of that, we got Mustangs that looked like dog shit.
That was all, according to L.
Horsepower,
Fletcher Prouty, he said that was all part of the game. Make it seem like there's a shortage, cause chaos in the United States. It was all part of the program. That's how they get the prices of barrels so goddamn high. If people knew that oil was never going to run out, this is what L. Fletcher Prouty said. If
this one dude, though, let's Google L. Fletcher Prouty debunked.
Google him.
Yeah,
just
there's
Google
gonna
that.
Be a bunch.
Dude,
so
use
this
the word
isn't a conspiracy theory.
Debunked.
Okay.
I mean, you never know.
Okay.
But don't say okay, but you want to know whether he's right or whether he's crazy, right? So let's find something debunking.
First of all, it says he's a Kennedy assassin.
Yeah, but you might be right. You might be right. No, you might be right. Or they might be legitimate scientists that are exposing a guy who doesn't exactly know what he's talking about. That's impossible. That's entirely possible too. You never know.
It's not just one guy. There's plenty of guys.
No,
but you keep bringing up this one guy.
I'll bring up more guys.
Right there.
Okay.
That one, Jamie Snoops.
Hold on.
YouTube, the
Snopes.
oil
Right there.
deception.
Let's go to Snopes.
YouTube, hold on. YouTube, the oil deception. It's a 5-part documentary on a guy breaking it all down for you.
Just see if you can find anything about his credentials.
That Snopes post is 12 years old, and it's just a message board.
Okay, so that you can't really count.
Yeah.
So we'll just find some. See if you can find something.
Listen to him. It's 2 minutes.
No.
Listen to him. Listen. How could you not be interested in listening to this guy?
I do, but not right now.
I'm your boy telling you this is legit.
He might be.
And you're doubting
What does it say? No, I'm not doubting you. I'm doubting the people that have informed you. Is he telling the truth or a bunch of tall tales?
Well, listen to it and you figure it out for yourself.
Well, he's a Kennedy assassination conspiracy expert. That
What
already
website is
skeptical
this?
hippo
Dude,
is.
oh, dude,
Hold on.
come on, man.
Hold
If
on.
you think
College.
Lee Harvey Oswald killed JFK?
Hold on,
Are you
hold on.
serious? Oh, my God.
Hold on.
All right.
He's fucking with you, man.
How am I shocked? Of course I knew
Jamie,
that.
please.
I knew that.
What's the website?
This is just from a college website. It had
I
a
hate you,
.edu,
Brendan.
so I was trying to figure it out.
.edu. What is
Yeah,
it?
I can't tell.
What do you mean you can't tell? What is the URL?
.mu. I don't. It could Missouri
What's the-
University. I don't know.
okay.
I don't. Minnesota. I'm not sure.
So it could be a student-created website. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, it's entirely
Maybe I was
possible.
trying to-
See,
that's what I was trying to figure
this is the thing,
Listen to him
man.
talk. Listen to him talk. Don't read shit. Just listen to him
But just
talk.
read
when
that
you
description,
got-
though,
Listen to
Eddie.
him talk.
No, hold on.
Listen
Look.
to him talk.
It says he is one of the favorite people of conspiracy-oriented publications,
Because
internet
he's
sites.
fucking honest. Because he's honest.
maybe.
Oh, come on.
Maybe.
Come on, dude.
Come on,
He's honest.
sites.
Dude, where do you get your news from? That's
Cameron
what I want to
Haynes,
know.
is
Where do
this
you get your
everything
news
you
from?
hope
Tell
for?
me.
This is good.
Tell me where you get
I
your
like
news from.
it.
Name the station where you get your
This is
news
what
the
you
most
hope
from.
for? You know
what I learned?
Come on.
What?
Exactly. You're not
The
going to say
oil
shit.
book is
You're not gonna
$2.
say nothing.
No,
Where do you get your
The oil book
news
is
from?
$2. Hold
Washington
on.
Post,
My book
New
is
York
300.
Times, CNN,
Exactly.
MSNBC.
Oh my God, that's all the bullshit. Okay,
Washington
I'm like,
Post?
See it? You said CNN.
I'll
You get your
watch
news
it,
from CNN.
and I'll watch MSNBC.
You get your news from You said CNN.
You get your
You
education
said it.
from YouTube.
Oh my
What are you
God.
talking about?
You get your news from CNN. You said CNN.
I listed a bunch of
I thought I
channels.
stumped you because you knew it would
Whatever
be
you
stupid to
do.
say CNN.
No.
But you said
I listed a bunch
Holy
of 'em.
Shit.
Whatever you do,
Okay.
don't go to the news show for
CNN.
news.
Where do you get your news? Where do you get your news? CNN.
Drudge Report.
You'll never say CNN, right?
No, well,
Where
I
do you
get
your
my
truthful
news. This is what I try to do.
Watch
This is what I try to
Report.
do.
You got to name
Know-
one. I know
knowing-
everybody gets it from several.
Listen,
You got to name
oh
one.
my God, Eddie,
Name
please
one.
relax.
Name one.
Please relax.
You're gonna say everything.
Eddie, please stop.
Does anybody listen to
Just
Drudge
relax.
Report? Read it?
Sometimes.
Okay.
But
Hey, that's good news right there.
Right.
Drudge
sometimes.
Report is good.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Here's the thing
Russia,
about the news.
Russia Today is good.
This is what I like to do. When I go to the news, I like to go, I read something and I go, huh. And then I go, all right, who else says this? And then I go online, I Google it. And I go, huh. I read a bunch of different, and this is all from being wrong. This is all from getting committed to an idea and then finding out it's not true. So then I go to a bunch of different ones. And then when I go to a bunch of different ones, I try to figure out what the fuck is really going on.
Is
Instead
there one
of going
site, though?
into it.
Is there one
Nope.
site where you look and you go,
Nope.
there's no
No.
credible site?
What is the
There
most
never is.
credible
So
site?
CNN.
What is
CNN,
the most?
Hold on a second. CNN's been wrong. They've been wrong about Benghazi.
I'm not saying CNN's right.
They were wrong about information that Hillary Clinton had.
For
They
sure.
were wrong about information the government had. They have a limited amount of access to the actual facts of very complicated issues, like all journalists. All journalists dealing with top secret issues have a limited amount of facts. So you have to figure out who's biased. Do you know Fox News is biased towards the right? Absolutely. Is MSNBC biased towards the left?
Yes.
Absolutely. Where's Salon.com fit in? Far left. Where's Drudge.com? Far right. Who's right? Who's right? Well, here's the thing. Don't fucking have an opinion until you look at all of it. Because there's a lot of bullshit and shenanigans going on both sides. And sometimes it takes a while to figure out what the fuck is right and what's wrong. The problem is confirmation bias is a real thing. I've had it. You've had it. We've all had it. We've all wanted Dan Henderson to win. We all, you know.
I did.
Cam
I was
was rooting
unbiased.
Hard.
Cam was
I was
rooting hard.
unbiased.
Sometimes when you see a fight like that, and I've been guilty of the same thing myself, you see a fight like that and you
Oh,
say,
me too.
no, he won, bro,
Yeah.
he won. And then people get mad at me,
Yeah.
and they'll say mean things to me on Twitter because
Mean
you were
things.
fucking biased, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking Dominic Cruz lost that fight, bro.
Yeah.
You know, fucking Conor McGregor was running, bro.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. But our boy Eddie, he loves him some conspiracy
that website
theories.
I pulled up is from John C. McAdams, who also wrote a book on the JFK assassin called JFK Assassin Logic, How to Think About Claims of Conspiracy. He described himself as a debunker by temperament. And then so I found a page where he breaks down this Fletcher guy. And he's not talking about the specific oil thing, but he does take a topic or a version of a story Prouty has.
When Eddie comes back in, you do say not a word of this because I don't want to get back
He'll
in
forget. You guys
see,
fucked up. You gave
well,
the gremlin.
No,
Might be
but,
right.
but they call them Proutyisms. I mean, this is what he's known for. This is what he's made his career on, it sounds like, is
Right.
these conspiracy theories.